DLC has a bad reputation, and honestly, it deserves it. Watered-down story packs, cosmetic bundles dressed up as content, and expansions that feel like cut content being sold back to you at full price. The gaming industry has trained us to be skeptical every single time a season pass gets announced. But every once in a while, a game releases an expansion that completely changes the conversation. New worlds, new storylines, new mechanics that make the base game feel different forever. Expansions so good they win their own Game of the Year awards. Expansions that are genuinely better than most standalone titles releasing at full price. Those expansions exist, and today we're celebrating them. These are the games with expansions so incredible they are absolutely worth every single penny. Let's get into it. Destiny 2, The Final Shape concluded years of storytelling beautifully. By 2026, the expansion delivered narrative culmination players desired. Witness Defeat represents emotional payoff. Seasonal structure kept content fresh continuously. Exotic weapons create perpetual chase goals. By 2026, endgame respects player time meaningfully. Raid encounters demand coordination phenomenally. New subclass additions expand playstyle variety. Community engagement phenomenal through events. By 2026, Destiny 2 proves live service can respect players through quality content. The storytelling celebrated complexity, avoiding simplification. Investment justified through continuous updates. Lies of P Overture released 2025 proving Souls-like DLC relevance. By 2026, recent expansion demonstrates quality. Prequel positioning explores Puppet Rebellion origins. Snow-covered crot aesthetic distinctive from base game. New bosses challenging through varied mechanics. Lore-deepening story authentically. Round 8 Studio proved sustainable expansion model. By 2026, Overture justified return to world. Combat mechanics familiar yet evolved through new weapons. Difficulty scaling respects experience levels. The narrative integration seamless. By 2026, this recent addition through DLC tradition continuing strong through indie developers. Divinity Original Sin 2's expansions and Definitive Edition additions enhanced already phenomenal experience. By 2026, the tactical depth celebrated complexity. 4 origin characters enable completely different narratives. Source ability system creates phenomenal strategic options. Environmental interaction rewards creativity during combat. Larian's design philosophy celebrates player agency. By 2026, turn-based CRPG masterpiece. New equipment additions strengthen builds meaningfully. Companion dialogue expansions deepen relationships. The production quality matched ambitious scope. Cooperative gameplay accommodates 4 players simultaneously. By 2026, this remains CRPG gold standard, proving tactical excellence transcends trends. Skyrim's Dragonborn DLC returned to Solstheim and honestly changed everything. By 2026, 15 years after 2011 release, this expansion remained iconic. Ash-covered island distinctive from base game environments. Miraak villain compelling through mysterious philosophy. Flying dragons new mechanic making battles cinematic. Shout expansion phenomenal through new Thuum abilities. By 2026, fans debate whether Dragonborn exceeded base game. Morrowind callbacks redefine for longtime fans. Artifact collection rewarding through interesting quests. By 2026, this DLC influenced entire Skyrim modding community. The mystery suspenseful throughout. This remains fan-favorite expansion proving DLC longevity. Diablo IV, Lord of Hatred, expanded seasonal content meaningfully. By 2026, the expansion adds substantial gameplay layers. New Paladin and Warlock classes enable playstyle variety. Mephisto confrontation story-driven, engaging. Skovos region exploration rewards curiosity. Overhauled endgame respects player time investment. New transmutation system deepens itemization. Set bonuses encourage experimentation genuinely. By 2026, seasonal model keeps content fresh continuously. The expansion validated live service approach through content quality.
boss encounters provide genuine challenge. Loot remains satisfying through balanced drop rates. This proves Diablo 4 Redemption ongoing.
Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty proved CD Projekt Red learned. By 2026, 2 years after 2024 release, this expansion validates redemption arcs. Idris Elba's starring role phenomenal. Dogtown District feels distinct, nor gritty aesthetic. Gripping spy thriller story engaging genuinely. Multiple endings based on choices matter emotionally. Stealth gameplay focus refreshes mechanical variety. New abilities expand customization significantly. By 2026, the complete edition, base game plus Phantom Liberty, finally delivers on original vision. Quest design quality exceeds base game. This expansion convinced skeptics Cyberpunk recovery possible. This is redemption arc proof.
Dark Souls 3: The Ringed City provides trilogy-ending excellence. The Ringed City is absolutely brutal, offering hardest content in-game. Dark Eater Meter requires precision, phenomenal boss design. Slave Knight Gale delivers emotional trilogy closure. Major lore revelations tie narrative together perfectly. By 2026, 9 years later, fans consider this essential Dark Souls experience. New Covenant mechanics, interesting additions. Environmental detail, breathtaking throughout. The final boss represents perfect trilogy conclusion emotionally. Ashes of Ariandel Dynasty complements thoroughly. By 2026, Dark Souls 3 remains considered peak trilogy because of expansions.
Bloodborne's The Old Hunters DLC is From Software at peak creativity. 10 to 15 hours of brutal, phenomenal content. Ludwig the Accursed, absolutely iconic boss. Lady Maria fights on Cathedral Rooftop, intensely personal. Orphan of Coast finale, devastatingly challenging. The Rakuyo weapon becomes fan favorite. Fishing Hamlet lore adds eerie weight to world. By 2026, 11 years later, fans still consider this the actual second act of Bloodborne. New trick weapons expand build variety tremendously. The DLC completed the masterpiece. Many argue the Old Hunters exceeded base game quality. By 2026, this remains From Software's greatest expansion, proving DLC can elevate games fundamentally.
The Witcher 3 has 2 phenomenal expansions, and honestly, Blood and Wine alone justifies the purchase. 30+ hours, new story. The Toussaint region is absolutely gorgeous, with sun-soaked vineyards contrasting the war-torn main game. Vampire mystery unfolding through brilliant quest lines. Multiple dramatic endings based on choices. By 2026, 11 years later, this still stands as perhaps the greatest DLC ever made. Hearts of Stone complements perfectly through personal Faustian bargain. Gonchar Odim character, phenomenal. The moral ambiguity, refreshing. CD Projekt Red's writing celebrates complexity. By 2026, the complete experience, base game plus both expansions, feels like one masterpiece. This is mandatory gaming. The production values match AAA releases.
Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is the highest-rated expansion ever made at 95 Metacritic. By 2026, 2 years after release, this isn't hype, this is fact. 25 to 30 hours of phenomenal new content. 83 new bosses with Messmer, Radon, and Rilana absolutely incredible. The Lands of Shadow region is massive, featuring entirely new environmental design. Scattertree Blessing System deepens progression meaningfully. Boss difficulty scales ridiculously but feels earned through skill. The DLC alone could be a full game release. By 2026, people still debate whether Shadow of the Erdtree exceeds the base game. That's how phenomenal it is. The lore expansions reframe entire narrative. This is why From Software defines DLC standards. If you haven't experienced this, you're missing gaming's peak expansion.
Dark Souls Artorias of the Abyss pioneered DLC excellence. By 2026, 15 years later, this expansion remains legendary. Lore-rich prequel sequence exploring humanity's fall. Artorias boss fight absolutely iconic through design. Young Sif interaction emotionally devastating. Manus represents
ultimate challenge culminating. By 2026, fans recognize Artorias as essential Dark Souls. World expansion meaningful through environmental design. Lore integration phenomenal through enemy placement. Weapons Edition expands build variety tremendously. By 2026, this expansion established From Software's DLC philosophy, proving quality over quantity.
Fallout 4 Far Harbor provided noir-inspired detective expansion. By 2026, 10 years after 2015 release, this DLC remains most beloved. Fog-covered island setting atmospheric immediately. Detective storyline morally complex thoughtfully. Faction choices heavier than base game. Cult themes explored philosophically. By 2026, the quest design exceeded base game quality significantly. Environmental detail tells stories wordlessly. Moral ambiguity refreshing from clear good evil. By 2026, players recognize Far Harbor as Fallout 4's highlight. The expansion justified purchase alone. This remains community favorite, proving DLC longevity.
Dragon Age Origins Awakening bridged games phenomenally. By 2026, 16 years after 2009 release, this expansion remains beloved. Campaign-length experience providing closure. Nathaniel Howe character development phenomenal. Justice companion arc emotionally impactful. Moral choices shape future installments. By 2026, players recognize Awakening as essential Dragon Age experience. The bridge concept validated through story integration. Character relationships developed authentically. Mechanical additions strengthen gameplay noticeably. By 2026, this expansion proved expansions can extend franchises meaningfully.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, The Fate of Atlantis DLC, explored mythology magnificently. By 2026, the expansion franchise largest. Isu species interaction, previously unavailable, becomes phenomenal. Atlantis itself, exploration visually stunning. Multiple mythological references, enriching lore. By 2026, players realize Odyssey's true scope through expansions. Ancient mysteries unfolding through quests. Character development continued authentically. The production values matched main game quality. New abilities expand combat options significantly. By 2026, this expansion justified Odyssey's 100+ hour commitment through quality additions. Monster Hunter World revolutionized franchise through expansions, especially Iceborne. By 2026, 6 years later, this expansion doubled content. Muster Rink scaling provides genuine challenge. New creatures introduce ecosystem complexity. Clutch Claw mechanic changes combat significantly. Fatalis final boss represents ultimate challenge. By 2026, the complete experience exceeded initial expectations. Creature animation celebrates detail authentically. Environmental design rewards exploration genuinely. Multiplayer coordination feels genuinely tactical. By 2026, this expansion proved expansions can fundamentally reshape games. The grind respects player investment through meaningful progression.